Good morning. It's Johnny Sunshine. I don't even know what fucking day it is anymore, to be honest with you guys. I think it's Thursday, man. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I slept in today. Don't have any jobs on the schedule, which is great because it gives me an opportunity to really catch up on some of the shit I have going at my house. Having my coffee, trying to wake up. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. I got lucky yesterday on a couple of things that I know nothing about. My pool heater wasn't working. I fixed that. It appears one of the pressure switches, the hose on the pressure switch for the air, the combustion air, the blower was off, so it wouldn't fire. And I knew something was different because sometimes, you know, it'll try to ignite. You can hear it clicking, and it won't happen. It does it 3 times, and then eventually it just stops. It won't even attempt it again. So I never got to the clicking point. So it was getting an error real fast. So I took it. I just opened it up and looked inside and realized the first thing I looked at was a hose was laying on the ground. You know, one side was connected, and the other side was not connected to anything. It was apparent that there were rats or a mouse. I don't know what it was. It must have been pretty big, and I don't know how they get in there. You know, a mouse or a rat can get in a hole that's literally 1 inch around. So it was heavy enough to pull that fucking hose off. I cleaned the whole pool heater up, vacuumed everything out. I'm either going to put mothballs in there or some bobcat urine. We'll keep them away. And Bella was sniffing around. She was telling me where the problem was, because she was sniffing around that side the whole time I was there, fucking with it before I opened it up. She was pointing me to, hey, we got a rat or a mouse living in here. Roof rats and tree rats in Florida are an issue. They're everywhere, man. Just, it's part of the fucking package when you move to Florida. But I was able to get that thing running. I was able to have a nice spa yesterday morning. My pool was nice and clean. My pool ladies came and did a great job the day before yesterday, getting it spotless. So I fixed that, and then I decided, you know, the dryer. There were a couple issues in this guest house that I didn't get to before these guys. They scheduled it, they booked it so fast that I didn't get a chance to finish everything because I was still working and they were going to be there at 2 o'clock. So anyways, the garbage disposal was frozen and it just needed to be kicked, you know, just hit it with the wrench. And I went to do that yesterday, and they had already done that. The 2 guys that are staying there, they had already freed it up. It did sound like there was still some shit in there, so I just ran it for a few minutes and cleared it. It seems to be fine now. They want to book for at least another week, maybe 2 weeks, because of the workload that they're getting here in Sarasota. It's very likely that they're going to stay. They're very happy here. They're happy with the service. I tend to try to leave these people alone. You know, I only call them, like I called them yesterday. I texted them and said, hey man, is it okay if I go in there? I want to try to fix this dryer. So I went in yesterday. I made sure the garbage disposal was working. I pulled that dryer out, and I remember, because I've never fixed it myself before. I mean, I've put fucking heating elements in dryers before. It's not a big deal. But this one, We've called my mom while my mother was here. We called at least 3 times over 20 years to get that dryer fixed. And my appliance guy, I'll give him a shout out, even though he don't answer the phone and he don't fucking call me back. Carl's Appliance here in Sarasota. He's a great guy. He was #1 on Google listing. He's been in business for a long time, but he only works 6 months out of the year now. But I remember these conversations. I remember everything they say, and I just add that into my repertoire, you know. So I remember him saying he sent a guy out that was working for him to do the job, and what it ended up being was the fuse on the back. It's a high temperature fuse, and once that blows on my particular washing machine, which is electric, the dryer still spins, everything works, but you just don't get any heat. That fuse disconnects the 120 leg going to the element, so the element doesn't kick on. I was able to get that fixed yesterday. I did change out also the thermostat on the blower housing, only because it was so cheap, you know what I mean? And I really wanted to buy all 3 or 4 of those parts, because it only cost me $36 for the fuse and the thermostat. And it took about an hour and a half of my time because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm very cautious. I try to make sure I don't kill myself first, and I try not to damage anything, you know. I take a lot of pictures to put shit back the way it was, and it served me well yesterday. I got the dryer running, I got my pool heater running. Saved me a lot of money, man. It's you know, the old saying, a penny saved is a penny earned, and I probably saved myself between the pool heater and the dryer and the garbage disposal, probably saved myself an easy $400 if I were the type of person who couldn't do anything and had to call somebody to do it. So it was a good day yesterday. The guy had a full load of wet laundry in the washing machine. I threw that in the dryer for him, and it was definitely drying. And I texted him back and said, hey, you're all set over there. I fixed the washing machine, the dryer. I cleaned the place up. I vacuumed everything. Cleanliness in an Airbnb is big time. These people who come here have the ability to give you a nasty review. And I was like a 5-star super host, and I want to keep that rating, so I do everything I can do, man, and that's more than most people will do, you know. I'm trying to provide top-notch service, and I do that in my plumbing business too. I'm a different animal than most people. I'm very open. I'm free with my language. I have no filters. I just say what's on my mind, and it's served me well. That's who I am. Some people think I'm abrasive and too much. My girlfriend, or old girlfriend, she says it, that, you know, I don't know what the hell she used to say. She'd call to tell me. But Johnny means well. I just watched a Mikey Pipes video this morning, his morning rant, and he mentioned me. He mentioned the fact that I called him to bail me out on this tankless water heater. And you know, the guy knows his shit, man. Who else would? I don't. There's a lot of people on YouTube who they never mention anybody else, any other YouTubers. It's like this set of rules that are in place that you just stay in your lane. You don't say, there's no commentary about one guy or the other. I'm not that way. Like I said, I just keep it real. I tell you what's on my mind, good or bad. And you know, you can either hate me or love me, but I call Mikey Pipes because he fucking knows these gas appliances like the back of his fucking hand. And he helped me out, you know what I mean? I had already fixed the problem by the time he called me back. He did try to call me like 3 times or so, and I wasn't able to take the call, whatever. And then by the time I did answer the phone, I had the thing up and running. But he shared his knowledge with me, and that's really what it's all about. I'm just, I'm a consumer of his channel, and just like anybody else who watches his channel, you learn things, you know. And the biggest thing in life is you need to know your limitations. And it's not, you need to, when you're up against something you know nothing about, rather than cause a big fucking problem, burn somebody's fucking house down, do something stupid, call somebody and ask. I get calls all the time from guys who used to work for me. They're master plumbers. They own their own businesses, and I'm on speed dial with these guys. They're like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'm happy to answer it. It actually makes me feel good that they respect me for what I know and the standards that I try to keep in my business when it comes to workmanship and doing the right thing. It's just it's a good thing, man, that we should have open dialogue with other people, you know. You see guys that are doing great. That's part of the problem in America, that nobody talks to anybody anymore, you know what I mean? Oh, that's my competition, I can't talk to him. Give me a fucking break, man. Fuck that. Mikey Pipes, I called Steve Lav when my air conditioning went out. And he picked up the phone, and I talked to him, and he was gracious. And I appreciate that. I'm not shy, man, about calling people up, and I definitely break down barriers. I don't care about what the fucking, you know, some guys would never do that. Hey, Steve Lav, I'm another YouTuber. You know, sometimes I say shit about you that's not very nice, but I need your help right now. That's who I am, man. So Mikey Pipes mentioned our phone call on his hour-long ride to a job, which I thought to myself, wow, fucking A, man. When I went into business in 1997, after 5 fucking years, guys, my trucks had like 5, 6, 7,000 miles on them. Brand new trucks, man. Because the work that I was doing was in like a 5-mile radius of my shop. All these subdivisions that were being built, and the people I was working for literally was within a mile or 2 of my shop, man. I cannot imagine, you know, driving an hour to a job, working a fucking hour, and then having to drive back, you know. That's 3 fucking hours, man, for an hour service call. It's fucking hell on your vehicles, stopping in traffic, the brakes are wearing out, all this shit, man. I like this. One thing an unintended consequence of the way I'm running my business now, working from 10 to 2, I miss the traffic in the morning, and I miss the traffic in the afternoon, and I'm way more productive. I don't sit in traffic, man. Even though the traffic in Sarasota is fucking horrendous now because of the influx of new people living here, and the vast and the just fucking explosion of development. It's crazy. But I still don't put my truck, that old beast I have outside, it's only got like 107,000 miles on it after me owning it for fucking 20-something years. It works out good. I don't spend a lot of money on gas. That shit costs money, man, sitting in traffic. A guy that used to work for me, he had an old saying, okay, I got some windshield time today. And I just didn't like that. I didn't like his attitude. Like, he likes getting paid for doing nothing. You know what I mean? And That's just not who I am. I'm like, let's get this shit done, Jackson. Fucking assholes and elbows, Jack. Get the motherfucking work. So I'm gonna show you something, guys. Check it out. Got a little bit of sediment in my spa. Not too bad. I'm gonna flip this thing to spa. Maybe. I'm gonna turn the spa on. Gotta wait a minute. Oh, Jason. I gotta call a septic tank guy. My septic tank is not fucking functioning properly, man. Where the fuck am I? What am I looking at? This fucking camera. Let me flip it to spa. See the fountains going down? It's actually those valves are turning, taking a suction from the pool, from the spa, and sending it back to the spa. And you see it start to bubble. The fucking heater should kick on. Gussie likes it. So I need to get my septic tank. I think what happened is it's an old septic tank. My drain field was new 25 years ago. Before I moved in here, they had just done the drain field. Unfortunately, the septic tank, the last time I had it pumped, I realized that center baffle had fallen off, and I think at this point, you know, it had an old clay fucking sand tee on the discharge side. If that thing is falling off, then I'm just getting carryover into my drain field. So unfortunately for me, and the price has gone way up, I got to get my septic tank pumped and see what's going on in there. I may have to, if that fucking sanitary tee and the 2-foot leg, that's designed so that here's what happens in a septic tank. The floaters stay on the top, the grease. The center of the tank is just pure effluent, and on the bottom of the tank is your solids, you know what I mean? And but if you don't have that pipe on the discharge side with a 2-foot leg, 2 or 3 foot leg, getting it centered in that effluent, so that you're only getting water carrying over into your drain field, you got a fucking issue, man. If you got carryover, you could fuck up you could destroy the drain field, which I don't need that at this point in my fucking life. I will tell you that I had a meeting the other day with a woman who represents cash buyers. She's gonna call me today at some point. She's got an offer for me on this place, and I just want to see what they say, what they come up with, how much money I'm going to walk away with. A lot of people scoff at how much this place is worth, but you know, this is Sarasota, man. Sarasota is very high dollar. It's like the Beverly Hills of fucking Florida, man. On the West Coast, anyways. Very, very wealthy. This place is a fucking gold mine, and I have a lot of equity in this house, man. And the good thing is I haven't spent that over the last 10 years while I struggle financially. I know I'm sitting on a fucking golden egg, and eventually I just don't want to run out of time at the end of my life. I don't want to run out of money before my life's over, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not tapping this equity. But we'll see what kind of money they offer. It's apparent that this is a great Airbnb. It's an easy thing to do. I mean, what I do when it comes to the Airbnb is I'll have double of everything: bed sheets, blankets, pillows. And what I'll do is just go in there and I grab everything, I strip everything, put a new set on there, and then I can actually either drop the stuff off at a wash and fold place, and for what's in there it's going to be cheap, $15-20. They'll wash the sheets and blankets and pillowcases, all that shit, and you pick it up, it's all folded, and you store it in like a hefty bag or whatever, until, you know, somebody moves out. And then you just go over there, you strip that stuff and put the new stuff on. I can prep this Airbnb in literally 2 hours, and maybe once a month I'll call my cleaning ladies, great two sisters that just, man, you go in there, they're standing on top of the refrigerator fucking cleaning shit. I'm like, boy, I love you little Mexican women. Do you want to get married? She's like, I'm already married. Anyways, thanks Mikey for the shout out. Thanks for accepting my call. We are a community. When I you know, just what I'm doing on YouTube is exactly what I do on in my life here in Sarasota with all the other plumbers, you know. My niche was new construction, and I was fucking damn good at it. One of the best in this county. We all have high fucking regards for ourselves, but, you know, we did nice work, man. Our shit was nice. The inspectors, they knew what they were getting from us. The inspections, I swear to God, man, in 20 fucking years of doing new construction, if I failed 10 inspections, that'd be pushing it, man. That would be pushing it. We had a system and we did it. But, you know, I never got in. We were installers, man. We were building houses, putting in the systems and installing new fixtures. We didn't have to do a lot of service work, man. So a lot of this stuff, I'm fucking winging it, you know, when I show up at somebody's house. And honestly, between YouTube, you don't want to be hiding in a bush behind the house watching a YouTube video on how to fix their shit, you know. It's not a good look. So what I do is I go in the porta-john. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. So a lot of guys were saying, you should have tested. You gotta test. If you're not testing, you're guessing. Well, for $36, I'll guess all fucking day. On that dryer. But I did test it. I knew that fucking fuse was blown. Fucking, I had 120 on one side, and the other side nothing was going through it. I knew the bitch was open. I had my meter. You could see it in the video. But I will give a shout out to a lot of. It appeared there was a guy. His last name was King. And I just want to give a shout out to him and everybody else who obviously is well versed in appliance repair. Not just gas, water heaters, you know, the plumbing side, but appliances. Thanks for all the wisdom and helping me. And you know, when I think about what I did yesterday, which I do, I always go over what I did and what I could have done. I watched myself when on the video, when I turned the thing on, I was checking to see if it was getting hot, and I was checking the box, the elements in, and, you know, all I had to do was put my hand in front of the fucking exhaust, and I realized that. But, you know, it's little stuff like that you learn along the way. And, you know, if you're an appliance guy and you've repaired fucking 500 dishwashers or washing machines, you know, like my appliance guy, most of the time I call him up. He said, I'll tell him what's going on, and he says, oh, that's going to be this, you know. Like one day I called him up because the dishwasher wasn't working. He said, what color are the wire nuts on the cord going to the dishwasher? I said, they're yellow. He said, they're not gonna work. That's your fucking problem. So I changed them out, and sure enough, the motherfucker kicked back on. I had a bad connection, man, over 20 years. So you can't beat yourself up for not knowing something you've never done, is what I'm getting at. Mikey, thanks for the shout out this morning. I appreciate you, brother. We're getting close now, buddy. I think under 2 weeks, man, one of us is going to be a very happy man on November 6th. I'm hoping it's me, for the fucking good of our country. Anyways, I'm going to end on that. Guys, have a great day. I'm getting in this spa. It's nice and hot now. It only takes, man, because this water never gets really cold. Like if I was up in the north, the water temperature, if it's like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, it'd take a fucking hour and a half to heat that up. Literally in 15 minutes, that water is warm enough for me to get in, and that's what I tend to do. I get in early when it's comfortable to sit in there, and then it brings it up to temperature to about 101 degrees, and then the heat kicks off. I'm not burning propane anymore, and then if the temperature drops a little, it kicks back on. In a 100-gallon tank, I've got a 120-gallon tank out here that's my own tank, and right now it's about a little over $400 to put 100. They only fill it up 80%. So for about 100 gallons of propane, it's a little over $400, and it lasts me a good long time, man. I don't use the spa in the summertime, so I just leave the motherfucker empty. But that's probably not good either. So, but it's expensive, man. I got a lot of bills paying on this property, man. You know. And Johnny's been struggling, but Johnny, you know, when the going gets tough, the motherfucking tough get going. Jack, I'm gonna end on that. Have a great day.